Yeah, I want to, ask you about Kyogo. Kyogo has, scored 23 goals this season,
Yeah.
and he's a top scorer in the league. Yeah, and in Japan, we can see some rumors like he's going to England or Italy.
Yeah.
But do you think he deserves to play in the Premier League, or should he stay a little bit more aesthetic? What's your opinion?
I think he should stay another at Celtic and see if he can
Hmm.
develop a little, because he's getting better and better. He is improving
Yeah.
all the time. He's an excellent player. As Celtic supporters, we couldn't understand why he was not in the national team for the World Cup. We love Maeda, we love Maeda, but
Hmm.
in that position, Kyogo is much better. So it's somewhat
Right.
strange.
Yeah, he hasn't played in World Cup.
Yeah.
So he hasn't played for Japanese national team for a while. I've read that post Guru isn't happy about that, and he wants to talk with our national team manager.
I don't think he just made that comment, because I watch all the news conferences, and he didn't say he was unhappy. He just said
Okay.
that in his opinion, Kyogo should have got, but it's not up to him to decide. It's the national teams. I think the media made it a bigger story.
Right. Yeah, Kyogo, he's a great finisher. So I think if he goes to England or Italy, he should play for offensive team, because
Absolutely.
he's got lots of chances in the box. So what do you think about that?
Well, I think if he does well in the Champions League next year, then he will get a move to a bigger league, I think.
Mhm.
But he will have to do well in the Champions League, because he missed a few chances in the last qualifying campaign. He should have scored at least 2 or 3.
Yep.
And I think he has to prove himself in the Champions League. He's done that. But if he proves himself against better teams, then I think he will get a move to one of the bigger leagues.
Okay.
But I don't think it will be the biggest. I don't.
Yeah.
But maybe a middle of the table, but attacking, as you say, an attacking team.
Football. Yeah.
He needs to be maybe in a team like Brighton, for example, in England. At the moment, play very nice football.
Yeah, they're playing, beautiful football. Yeah, amazing. Yeah.
So a team like that, perhaps,
Mm-hmm.
have to prove himself in the Champions League before anybody in the Premier League would want him. And he shouldn't go to a team like Southampton, reported to be interested.
Yeah. But Hatate is also a good player, isn't he?
Hatate is incredible. Hatate is, for me, until he was injured, I would say almost Celtic's best player. And again, he is improving since the World Cup, and he didn't get selected. He was improving all the time, every week. Yeah, he's superb. He's better in a more advanced midfield position, because he's passing, he's control, and he makes space for himself, and it's excellent player. Or right back or left back, we're covered, there. So I think he's best playing slightly forward in midfield, because the captain plays deep, and he is just incredible. He excels in the position.
It seems like Brighton is interested in him for the next transfer. Yeah.
I mean, that'd be a good club for him again. Yeah. I think that's the style of football that would work. Yeah. I don't want any of them to leave, though. I want them to stay.
Yeah, of course, yeah. So, since post Guru became a manager of Celtic, lots of Japanese players alive in Celtic. Now they've got 5, but what do Celtic fans think about that? Having 5 Japanese players. It's unusual, right? We are not so Brazilian, French.
Very unusual, but we are so impressed, because everyone, now Iwata has started the last 2 games, so he's starting to contribute more. You can see he can play in different positions. He's done well when he's played. I What's the central defender's name? I've forgotten his name.
Kobayashi.
Yeah,
Yuki Kobayashi.
He's looked good. He's looked good.
Yeah.
But it's been difficult for him because you get Starfelt and Carter Vickers have been so consistent. So it's difficult for him to break into the defence, to get into the team. But when he's played, he's looked very good. The Celtic support are overjoyed. They are incredibly happy. Very happy indeed.
Really?
I love it. Yeah.
At least, most of them are playing really well. So,
and the quality and compared to European price for us to buy these players was much cheaper than a relative player in Europe. Much cheaper.
Yeah.
It was clever. Got a player from South Korea as well. And that was I think that would be a good piece of business. He's not done much yet, but I think in the future he's going to be a good backup for Kyogo. But no.
Right.
The Celtic support love Ange Postecoglou.
Are you happy with him? His management or his style of play?
He's incredible. I can't think of anything bad about him at all. He's fitted into Celtic well.
I've read some of clubs like Chelsea is interested in him.
I think English clubs are interested, but I can't see him leaving for at the minimum another year. I can't see. He wants to prove himself in Europe with Celtic. That's what he wants to do. He wants to prove himself in the Champions League. I don't think he'll go to Chelsea. So I don't think he's going to get the opportunity maybe to go to another Champions League side unless he does very well in the Champions League with Celtic. So I think he wants to prove himself first. I think I can't see any of the manager or the important players. I can't see any of them leaving for another year. I think it'll be another year and then people might move. I think all of them, I think Hatate wants to prove himself in the Champions League. Kyogo. I think the players want to prove themselves again. I think. That's my opinion.
Okay, your opinion. All right.
Yeah. So that's the impression I get.